Welcome. We're back.
We're live?
The Outside Theory.
Oh, we're live. The Outside Theory, here we are. We are at episode 3. Here, myself, EJ Toro, with my co-host John Robinson right here. We're back. It's been an eventful couple weeks, and we're just here to, see what's been going on with everybody lately and things like that. So, John, what's been going on, my man?
We have a couple events that we want to speak about. A couple of them speaking on the youth. A couple of events going on out in the public and stuff like that. And we also want to speak about just some events. We usually have a guest on here, but we just want to give you EJ and I and speak to you guys about different events going on today.
And our sponsors. We got 2 sponsors today. We got Coast Clothing, John right here, and Payman Gold Clothing, myself right here, and that's who we're sponsored by today. So what do we got here, man? We got a couple things that's been going on out here in the world. One, this Kaepernick ordeal. Obviously, a lot of people are talking about it. John snickers. It's all right though. John, what are your thoughts, man? You don't want to talk about it, huh?
I personally. My personal feelings, I don't like Kaepernick, but it doesn't have anything to do with this. Just because he's a sorry player, and I had him on my fantasy football team.
That's what I hear from
a
lot of people.
He got me no points, man. We lost the
playoffs.
playoffs.
That's right. You actually said you had a real beef with him because of that.
Dude. I had him. I didn't have a quarterback. He was my only one left, and he didn't make it happen for me, dude. Just like in real life. But as for the thing, I think if that's what he wants to do, he has, I respect him for doing that, and he knows he could lose his job. Like, okay, you may not want to do that there.
No, but there's rules here. There's stipulations in the NFL.
The NFL said they're okay, and they're not.
They're okay with it. Yeah, yeah, because they say that you have to what is it? You have to recognize what's going on, but you don't have to stand, and you don't have to hold your hand over your heart. So. I guess it's all part of the game, and when there's a lot of money on the line and things like that. But check me if I'm wrong on this. I was reading something where they were saying Kaepernick's overall QB rating would have been 99 this year if it wasn't for the Seahawks on the 49ers schedule. What do you think about that one?
I don't think that really makes sense because, what is his overall rating, how good he plays, have to do with the Seahawks being on his schedule?
I guess just because of that team and the way all that works out here and there, it's just, I don't know, it's one of the things. Is that how it works out?
I'll tell you, statistically, he's a good quarterback. He's tall, he can throw far, he has legs. If it wasn't for his legs, he wouldn't be a quarterback. But I was talking about this to my boy Ellie. Shout out to Ellie. But
Ellie, what's up, man?
I wouldn't put him on my football team. I wouldn't. I'm not a big fan of him. That's a like.
That's weird. I ran across the
So what do you think about it?
What do I think about it? Well, we live in America, and you got all these people in uproar. You got the people that are upset saying he's not showing respect to the vets and this and that, and at the end of the day, everyone's got everyone's got their right to their own opinion and their own statements, and it's America, so it's kind of his right to do what he wants to do. I mean, honestly, he could have stayed in the locker room if he wanted to and came out after, and it's still okay because he has the right to do that, know? So, it's just kind of one of those things. This is my question because, I've been on teams before. I've played contact sports and sports period, my whole life, so I know what it's like to be on a team as well as I know you have, and basically all of our friends have. So it's kind of like this, I know that bonding feeling when you're on a team, and if, people felt a certain way, and if that was ever voiced, I would have been the team member that would have done it with him, just because of him feeling a certain way, and me understanding that, I gotta be on my teammate's side regardless of the fact. So that's just me. Now, would you have sat down with him if you were on the team, and maybe knowing him personally or something like that,
Nah, personally, I wouldn't have. I just I'll stand, you know what I mean? Just because, it's something I've done the whole time. It's respectful. I see we got some questions on here.
Yeah, but continue though.
We're going to get to the questions. But I would have just stand, man. Like, hey, if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. But what I want to do is I just want to stand.
So you wouldn't have sat with him?
Nah, dude.
Now, would you the following weekend or Thursday night football or Monday night football? Would you have sat with him then?
Nah, man.
Not
I just
at
want
all.
you do your thing. You stand. I'm gonna do my, or you sit. I'm gonna
Okay.
stand. I might put my hand over heart. Probably not, but I'm gonna stand and respect whatever, dude. That's just what I would do. But it says, what's your opinion and how Hillary and the rest of the government handle the situations? What do you guys think of the movie?
What
13
situation, though?
Hours?
There's a lot of situations.
Yeah.
She mishandles quite a lot of them. I mean, let's be realistic here. I mean,
The latest situation that I heard of was them destroying like the 5 iPads and the 13 Blackberries
Oh,
with
boy.
hammers and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty gangster.
oh boy, this just gets out of control with this, man. You know, I mean, well, you know, the other thing though, they found like, what is it? It was like 48 different murders that are associated with her whole circle. You know, she's a hitman. You know,
He
she's
said the
she's
song
hitting people off.
glorifies the killing. Well, the part
definitely does, though.
glorifying the killing of slaves, you know, they like took that verse out. And I'm not saying that I like the song or whatever.
So they manipulated the verse
No, I'm
to
saying
make
they,
it seem
they,
like it was okay.
no, they completely took the verse out that was talking about the slaves, which
Originally or now? That's
Now.
where I'm confused.
now,
Yeah, so they manipulated the song.
yeah, you could say that.
Oh, see, that's the effery right there. You know,
Yeah, it is.
definitely. You don't think so?
No, I was reading this.
Oh.
I mean, definitely, like, you know, she's crazy and stuff like
I
that.
gotta bring it up
and-
on my phone, so I gotta keep looking forward.
But I the thing about that whole situation going on with the stuff and
Which one? Kaepernick or the Hillary thing?
no, where he's talking about the not the Star Spangled Banner, but the national anthem and how they took out the part about the runaway slaves.
Yeah.
I understand what he's saying. I definitely do. And I'm not saying I agree with it, but it's just, you know, we've been doing it for so long. It's kind of like, is that really what it means anymore? If you took out the verse that is bad, like, okay, that's bad. We're bad. We're going to take that verse out. Let's just have what we have going
I
on
think
right
it's
now.
bad. I think they should have left it in there if they
You
were
share it on
gonna.
your page?
Yeah, well, this thing is like it's not loading for some reason. It's temporarily unavailable.
Monica,
Anyway.
first we were talking about the song.
The Star Spangled Banner, the national anthem.
Right. Now, someone else
Which we
asked the question
can
about...
we do make a point though?
Okay, let's
Because
make a point.
okay, so the Star Spangled Banner was written by Francis Scott Key. Okay, and he was a slave owner apparently through history. You know, so I feel like we got to add that into it.
Right.
You know, because I feel like if someone does do the proper research, these are the things they're going to find, and then they
Right.
might actually understand the reason why he did sit down. Now, I don't know if that is as deep as his research went. You know,
But
and there were
I know the third verse is about slavery, and that's bad, even though they did take it out. But that first verse is kind of hard, though, and the second verse.
what hard as in good or hard as in
Hard
like,
isn't good. Like, the
I mean-
lyrics are tight. They're talking about we went through battle, we made it through. and
yeah,
stuff
we
like
did
that.
though, but
That our
Did we,
flag
you know?
was still there. Like, yo, we out here, you know what I mean?
no, we are out here. That's for sure. I mean, America is
But yeah,
great.
there's bad parts. Like
You
I said,
know?
I would stand. Hey, man, sue me. I would stand. That's it. All right? That's what I would do. But then the other thing that we're talking about is with Hillary Clinton and how she's doing all this crazy stuff. Let me say one funny thing, though, while I am live. I want to say one thing.
Okay.
And
You're
this
gonna
is
talk
gonna-
about her health?
No, this is
Because
going
we
to talk...
can talk about that too.
No, this is going to talk about some crazy stuff just because slavery actually was started from black people starting their own pot. All right, but check this out. So...
Well, they.
So
All
check
right,
this out.
you know,
no, listen,
it's
listen,
true
listen.
though.
All right, listen. You know, there was some black people, and I'm not going to say all, and I'm not going to say anyone's in particular, but they voted for Obama the first time because he was black, and they were black, and they wanted a black person in office. They may not have said it in argument or discussion. They could have came up with some other reasons why they did, but at the end of the day, there are some people who voted for him because he was black, and he won. He got a lot of votes like that.
He won twice.
So check this out. You're telling me there's
She's a
not women
Democrat.
out here that are gonna vote for Hillary just because she's a woman? They may not say it now, but we're
They're
giving
definitely going to.
women a chance to run the country, dude.
Yeah, they're definitely going to vote for her just because she's a woman.
I'm saying, like, and you know, that's just like,
Ah,
see,
fuck, man.
and like, dude, it's okay because I get it. We're giving y'all a chance. Like, oh man, they messed up, dude. Giving women a chance to run the country. A lot of women are gonna vote for a low key.
Nick, who's that? You know what I'm saying? We talking about our libertarian friend, Gary Johnson. I hope that's who went. Anyway, so yeah, back to what you were saying.
Well, I just think that there's going to be surprisingly a lot of women who go out and vote for Hillary low key, and then we never hear about it again.
Yeah, definitely. That's
Nick
all right.
made it to the general election.
Oh, Nick did. Okay, well, congratulations. Nick Kloufis made it to the general election for City Council District 3. Shout out. You know?
But moving on to some other points.
But there's blood on her hands. Do we not understand that? There's blood on Hillary Clinton's hands, people. Americans' blood. There's foreigners' blood. Seriously, we got to address these things. You know, she kills people of her own committee. How are we going to deal with a president that does that? You know who also doing that? Putin's also doing that. Tell me he's not.
He's kind of cool, though. I'm not gonna
Putin's
lie.
a gangster. But he's also killing people in broad
Yeah,
daylight.
that's
Like
not
some
cool.
American Frank Lucas shit.
That's not cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now, man. God, man, I don't know what to do. All right. So they did find 5 million euros worth of cocaine in a Coca-Cola plant in France. Do we or do we not think they're putting cocaine back in the soda? Or are they just straight hustlers out here?
I mean, there's really not much you could do about that. There's so much money being, like, everybody's just letting money take over everything. That's when I asked that question earlier. What
Here
can
we
money
go.
buy?
What can it buy?
And look,
it can,
I
it can
believe
buy fucking
love.
everything.
I don't think it could buy love. I don't think it could buy trust
can't.
and loyalty.
But it could secure some of that to an extent.
It's rough, man.
I mean, it's
It's
rough,
hard.
but, like, you know, at the end of the day, like, because you can buy time with money. That's something
Yeah.
I did realize. Like, you
I
know,
just-
and you can't.
I just
you know?
talked to the guy, my boy earlier. That dude who was like a rapist at Stanford or whatever, and
He definitely bought some fucking
He bought
time.
9 years.
Yeah, hell yeah,
He's supposed to
that
get
boy
9
bought some
years.
time. That's
He got
fucked
3
up.
months. He bought 8 years
Yeah.
and 8 months or
Yeah.
whatever, 9 months.
Yeah, no, I mean, but you can also buy time in a sense of like, all right, well, you're a busy man, you got to come home and mow the lawn, but instead you could pay somebody to mow the lawn and you kind of buying that time back. You know, something you don't have to worry about anymore. Same thing with like a pool guy, a pest guy, you know, the lawn guy again, a pressure washing guy, you know, a car mechanic. You could have mobile car mechanics that come to your house now, so you could buy time.
Right.
You know, that's a lot of time in a busy, like a businessman's schedule where he's constantly coming and going and does not have that kind of time. So, I mean, you can buy just about anything, man. I mean, sure, there's those few things like you just mentioned that you cannot buy, but I think to an
said
extent,
you can't buy youth. Not yet, but it seems like it's coming with all these like anti-aging.
but you can buy,
creams
you
and
can
stuff
exactly
like that.
buy youth though, because if you think about it, if you're able to eat healthier and you're able to again buy your time to then where your free time you can exercise, you can kind of buy your youth and keep it going. I mean, how not though?
I see where you're going at.
You
with
know
that.
what I'm saying?
Looking
You
at youth in a
definitely can.
different term other than like an actual age as to a,
Yeah, like
a lifestyle.
you're,
feeling.
that's asking for like the fountain of youth, you know, and it's like that's like how could you just stay young? Well, you can't physically ever just stay young, but mentally and spiritually, you definitely could stay young forever. You know, I mean, how not?
I feel you on that.
You know, I mean,
How do you feel about back in the day? They say people live to be like 200 years old and stuff like that, just by eating healthier and different
well,
stuff.
dude, I'd be seeing all these things online where they're finding people constantly older and older and older than people. But I was just reading something to do was like 136 or something like that, and some guy that live out in like India.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, they're eating just straight rice and small amount of grain out there, but this the sugar diet, man. The sugar diet's what's effing everything up hardcore. You know, I mean, it even messed up like the Okinawas or the Okinawas, the Japanese people.
On average, lived like 100.
Yeah, like they used to be like the healthiest people on the face of the planet and live the longest. But now sugar's in their
Fact
diet.
check.
Who's fact check?
Somebody said 136. No.
All right, okay, hold on. Let's find out. Give me a second.
I believe what he said about surgery too, because I was talking about that one rich guy. He's had like 6 heart transplants, and like whenever one goes bad, he gets another one, and like he has the money to pay for them, and so he's still alive. He would have been dead a while ago, but he's pretty much buying life. Monica, we're about to check this out.
This guy right here.
Uh-oh.
This guy right here. Over the past year, I can't even pronounce this dude's name. He's 146 years old. A man thought to be the oldest living person in Indonesia. 146. Check it out, Google.
Hey, you know what's cool about people in other countries? I was talking to a friend of mine, and
Hold on. The oldest verified person, though, on record was a French woman. She lived to 122 years and 164 days old. God damn. That's still a long time, people. And to be that old, whew. I think we could live to 150.
Google it, Monica.
She still don't believe us?
But,
oh my gosh. I got you.
Over in other countries, it's crazy because this is one thing I believe. Your age starts when you're conceived. When you're like a little seed inside there. Like, how come when you're born you're not 9 months old? That doesn't make sense to me. You've been growing. You've been alive for 9 months. You can die. If you could die, that means you're alive.
Come again, man?
Okay. From the second of conception, when like the sperm meets the egg, and like
someone hit me with it. Nice.
Hey.
Nice, thank you.
And, appreciate it, bro.
Nice, thank you.
So yeah, so it's alive inside the woman. So like when it comes out, it's like 9 months old. It's already like a baby. It's 9 months.
It's already
old.
a year old. Yeah, you really should be a year old when you come out. But America, for some dumbass reason, don't count that.
So like 3 months into it, you could be like, "Happy birthday," or you've been a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A calendar year. It doesn't really make sense. Like you're like a year and 9 months when you're a year old. Like I get it, you were born, but what was that other 9 months before you were born? What was that?
You was just in like darkness and like moisture.
Oh, I mean, I guess.
And you was just there, like you had the things all connected to you, and every breath you were taking was because the mother was taking a breath.
But you were still alive, though.
Of course. Aren't you still in the womb at this point? Ain't that what we talking about?
Yeah. I'm just saying. Do you believe that?
What?
You should count that in years born. In other countries, they do.
Well, yeah. If you're gonna say that the baby's a baby at conception, you know, within the first month is considered a live being. Like if someone's gonna be pro-life, right, and they're gonna say that, then you should that particular person should be counting the 9 months within the time that the child's being made as its first 9 months on the planet.
I'm actually not. I've actually had a couple drinks. I'm waiting for this FSU versus Ole Miss game to come on.
Who said something?
But
no, that's funny.
This podcast is called The Outside Theory. We're trying to get people to think outside the box.
Definitely, yeah. See, so
on
that
different
works.
Stuff going on.
That works.
You know what I mean? Just because it's on Wiki doesn't make it real. Oh my God.
Why
you ask for a link
Yo,
then?
right, you're done.
Right.
Next. Sorry. And I only say that because, you know, you Google it. There's like 6 different ones that come up, and you could read them and take the average of them. Come on, the guy's on there is 146 years old. Look at him. He's like stuck in the chair. He looks like the wood of the damn chair. Like he's 146 years old. Poor thing. Now I really think we could live to 150 plus. And I'm gonna say that. Well, eating healthy, you might not look the best, but like you were saying before, the dude with the hearts, they could put eardrums in, they could put retinas in, they could put lungs in, and then you got stem cells.
Yeah,
stem cells. Stem cells are gonna keep us alive, people. That's for sure. Jesus, man. Oh man.
So one thing that I wanted to talk about is SpaceX.
Yep.
The new like NASA that is owned by Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook and Elon Musk from Tesla and PayPal. And they're just like some kids in a playground. They're like, hey, I want to build a spaceship.
Right.
Let's go to space. Let's put a satellite in space. And then she's like, ooh, he said stem cells.
Yeah, I
But-
did. Stem cells is real. It's the truth. And they're legal in the United States now, people.
But the thing about SpaceX is like, okay, they had a thing blow up. Like, that's not normal. What do you think about the little black thing that floated by?
Nah. I don't know about no black thing that floated
Did
by.
you see what they're talking about?
No. Do
They
we need to
said-
bring this up?
They said that there's a little black thing that flew by.
Nah, I don't know. I mean,
Hey, Vincent, yeah, this is the Porsche. You've been here before. You know where we're at.
oh man,
This is headquarters.
yeah. Oh, where are we at here, man? All right. SpaceX. That's what we were talking about, right?
Yeah, and like, I think that it should kind of be like, not a law, but I don't think you should be able to just buy your way into space because there's too much freedom and there's too much that we don't know about going on out there.
Yeah, but that's how everybody did it.
It's
you
kind
know?
of like, I guess, back in the day with a boat. You could just leave and go to America, I guess.
If you had a boat, if me and you had a boat, wanted to build one, we was out.
Yeah,
that was
true,
it.
I guess
you know what
so.
I'm saying? There wasn't like, oh hey, excuse me, John, do you have your legal documentation and your license? Is that boat registered, sir? Did you pay the taxes on that?
I mean, not
boat,
even
sir?
just that.
You could
It's
just
like,
build a boat and be gone.
they're just putting satellites out into space. Do you know how
Yeah.
many satellites are in space
How
already?
many do we know?
It's like junk, dude. There's a lot of
Yeah, I
satellites
know.
in space.
There are. Do you think that fucks with the Earth's orbit though? Like all that stuff like around it, because like
It would mess up
Like-
our orbit.
they be saying like just the cell phone signal and stuff these days messing with the bees and stuff like that, you know, and that's like an issue because of
Yeah.
all the signal we got going around. So it's like, wouldn't that be a signal in space too? You know,
It's
I would
like
think so.
there's so much stuff going on out there that we really don't even know about. I don't know if I'm ready to go out into space yet. I would go. I don't want to, but I would.
I think SpaceX is building a space station as well.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And they're just doing their own thing. They're just
That's
gonna be-
gnarly.
I think, man, that's crazy. One day they're gonna have like a whole city out there in space.
Yeah, well, they're trying to send a submarine to like one of Jupiter's moons, like Titan,
I saw that. That was tight.
and like they got
Underwater.
Yeah, they're trying to put it in the water, but it's not water out there; it's liquid methane.
It'll blow up.
No, well, they're just trying to see if there's anything out there that is living
Imagine
in
if
it,
it was
or
living
like
in
what's
liquid
or
methane.
like what's underneath it all. You know, like if there's like a civilization that got buried or something happened, like they're just trying to explore all this kind of shit out there. But I don't know, man. I think we're still very far behind whatever else is out there in the technology that they have. You see what I'm saying?
I did see what you're saying.
I don't
There's
know.
a lot of crazy stuff going on. I don't like how they're trying to.
I did hear
show us-
about that. Yeah. The space they found like another planet, but I didn't think it was right outside our galaxy though that they found that's an Earth-like Earth-like planet. I mean, Mars is an Earth-like planet as well, but it's still so dusty that I don't think we can breathe there. But you know, the other thing is too is like we only breathe in like 20% oxygen. The other 80% we breathe in is nitrogen.
That was
So
kind
we don't
of-
even need that much oxygen. My bad.
No, you're good. That's kind of another outside the theory point that I was thinking is like, why is it that we as Earthlings believe that aliens have to breathe oxygen like us? Like, we have fish that breathe water, which I understand they still breathe oxygen. and
We have
stuff, but,
animals
like,
that could breathe in both of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, we're looking for water on Mars because then it means they'll sustain life. Why do they need water to sustain life?
Well, that's definitely something you need to sustain life.
If you're an Earthling,
If you're an Earthling, yeah. So that's why we don't know. That's why they're saying that they're just going to go in the water out there, as in the liquid methane, because obviously then, if they find something living in liquid methane, then you can definitely have a life living in other liquid materials.
I feel
so to say.
I feel like there is, just off straight probability and percentages and stuff. I mean, there is somewhere the universe is infinite.
No, most definitely. And that's the other thing. They got all kinds of crazy pictures. There was just the Hubble telescope just had some new pictures that came out on some things that they had captured, and it's just like the different galaxies and the way those things look, and that was just out of this world. Clearly, no pun intended, you know. But it definitely was out there, you know. But yo, so we got this date coming up, man, and I was gonna bring this up. I wanted to do the podcast before the actual date happens because I wanted to talk about it, and obviously we got people commenting in, so I want to see what some of you folks got to say about this as well. But you know, it's 9/5 today, 2016, and we got 9/11 coming up
Next Sunday.
next Sunday. This next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to jump down any conspiracy holes or anything like that because I'll just wow y'all up a little too much. I'm sure of it. Now, is what I want to do is ask the question on are they or are they not going to shower us in 9/11 propaganda once again? You know, it's like this happened in 2001, right? I was in, where was I? You know where you was?
I was in like 7th grade in the
You
library.
was in 7th grade in the library.
In Buddy Taylor.
I think I was 4th or 5th grade. Definitely was in school when all that happened. They evacuated the schools. Everybody went home like immediately. They didn't know what the hell was going on. But clearly you all know, right?
The freshmen in high school now weren't even alive when that happened. Some of
That-
them
no.
may have been born.
That's yeah,
but
yeah, because
that
of the
happened in
age.
2001.
Yeah. I seen that, but now my thing is though
If
is
you were a
like
freshman in high school before, you weren't born. You're learning about it as a historical event.
yeah. That's some of the things I was reading. Now my thing is though is like, you know, they also call that the date that we're never gonna forget, or like the, you know, the act that we're never gonna forget. You know, the day to always remember. Isn't that what they call it? Something like that.
Oh yeah, never forget.
Never forget. Well, like, isn't the part of never forgetting always showering you in the propaganda of it on the actual day? Like, how come on all the other days and anytime any big events ever happen, why do they not do that? Like Columbine, for example, you know, that's a huge thing that happened within our, you know, our society, and it was a bad thing, you know, so why, where was I fucking going, man? I just totally lost my train of thought because you were moving that.
My bad.
No, it's all good. No, 9/11. Yeah, so why are they going to shower us in propaganda about that, but not, like, say, Columbine on that day? Why are we allowed to forget that unless a school shooting happens? But for whatever reason, we're not allowed to forget about 9/11. See what I'm
Good
saying?
point.
Because they're going to shower it on. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off
No, you're
again.
good.
But they're going to shower it all on MSN and CNN and all that. It's going to be all over the place. They're going to be replaying it all day. Like, we don't know what happened. You know, because if there's an
feel where you're
American
coming from.
out there
It's
that
a touchy
doesn't.
subject, but I feel where you're coming.
Yeah, it is, but this is why we're here, because we got to break this stuff down. We got to talk about it. Someone's
For
got to
sure.
talk about it. Otherwise, we're going to let everybody post memes and post positivism and think that they be an activist about stuff, and no one's doing anything. We got to talk about it like stuff like here. We have these conversations with these people, and we got to figure this out because it's definitely an issue. I feel like they really are trying to push it. Now, clearly, there are the conspiracies out there about this thing, about 9/11, whether if it was an inside job or really an act of terrorism, which, like I said, I'm not going to jump down there, but just to touch on it. So that's kind of understood. You know, is that maybe part, though, of why they don't ever want us to forget about it or just won't let it be something in the past? Because you got World War I, World War II, you got all these different events. How about the day we got Osama bin Laden and we raided his palace and finally got him? And there are all those Navy SEALs. They made the movie about it. How come there's not, you know, a day where they play that all over again and over again and over again? That's just my issue with it, man. That's what I have. I feel like there's definitely an agenda that's set with that to keep the people in some type of fear, to make you triple remind you that there's a war on terrorism out here. And I guess my question is there really a war on terrorism, or is this something the media more makes happen? Because clearly with the amount of people we have, this kind of stuff's always going to be going on. You know, you're never going to stop the war, you're never going to stop the hate, you're never going to stop the violence. But I think we could stop showering ourselves with this propaganda that is going to happen again on 9/11.
Well, I definitely, like, one thing about 9/11, though, is people definitely did lose their lives, and I'm sad about that, and I don't want to not remember.
Garrett, that's a solid point, but I feel you. There are a lot of days,
Yeah.
so you can't glorify all of them, but...
But like, I do want to remember 9/11, but I want to remember all the other ones too. I'm not saying let's not. And I'm not even talking about
Exactly.
it's a bad point, because I do feel for all those people. A lot of good people lost their life that day. But do we,
But
like,
it's
this
the only
might sound
day.
crazy to me, but did we even like officially figure out who did it, or is it just one big like crazy?
Oh, at this point, I mean, dude, there's so many reasons that they just figured y'all American people, it's just lost in y'all's head somewhere. You know, whatever you think, and what you think happened. Because at this point, it's over, cleaned up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you know, I'm not trying to discredit or take away anything that happened from it. I just want to understand why they constantly have to keep showering us with that type of propaganda every day, every year on the day. You know, it's gonna be a Sunday, people are off, and that's what you're gonna watch on every single channel.
Right.
Why the negativity? You know what I'm saying? Why can't just like they do something on the History Channel, Discovery Channel, do something about it, and then maybe like for an hour, you know, everyone has like an excerpt. I hope that's something more or less what they do, rather than run the reel all day, because we all know what happened. We all seen it. You believe there's an American out there that doesn't know anything about 9/11?
No.
I mean, the younger people that don't know about it yet, but once they know about it, I mean, then it'll be on. You know?
Right. But I mean, like you said, there's so many tragedies. Like there's JFK, there's Martin Luther King, like all these things. They kind of just like, you know, it's crazy, man. A lot of bad stuff happening, and I just don't like how America likes to focus on those points when there are some good stuff happening, or we can even solve the problem. I feel like there's too much of a difference between the government and what they're doing and American, like the average American. Like, there's some points I wish we would just vote on if we want to go to war with them or not. Like, why is it just we vote on the president and then they just do whatever it is that they want to do? Like,
Yeah, I want to touch on what Buddy's saying real quick. Our man Travis here says it's just like JFK, but we know what happened to JFK. I mean, obviously it's still a conspiracy, but we all know the government shot him. You know, I mean, who rapped about that? One of the rappers even talked about that. We know it. You know, I mean, that's definitely the government got him. You know, I mean, that's just what it is. He was trying to stop a lot of things around that point in time. There were certain bills that were trying to go through. I can't remember them all off the top of my head right now. But there's definitely some stuff going down, and then they got Buddy. You know, and people these days, I feel like it's too smart to be fucking around with the government that way once they get in to then get themselves shot up. You know what's gonna happen. They had to make that was it example. They had to make an example with somebody, unfortunately. But yeah, so I just hope they don't do that again. But we'll see what happens, right? And, you know, to anybody that was in 9/11, I'm sorry these negative things have happened to you and the losses to our families and the stresses due, you know, to your families and anybody that served in war. I seen someone said that they did serve in '08, and, you know, obviously for me and John both, the Outside Theory, we thank you for your services, of course.
for sure.
You know, we're definitely not going to brush that off the shoulder because that's something to definitely take into consideration with all of this. So, you know, I mean, it's just one of those subjects, you know, what happened, who really did it. I guess that's where it's going. So, you know, something else I wanted to bring up with today being Labor Day and me being a hard labored worker, you know, I work out here, work outside Monday through Friday, you know, on that 9 to 5 grind basically, you know, and my thing is shouldn't you have off on Labor Day? Isn't Labor Day for these types of people, you know? And I worked a little bit today, and I hopped in a little work truck, did my thing, but are we still going to continue with these bullshit holidays? That's my thing here. You know, we got Labor Day, we got Columbus Day. We all know Columbus was a piece of shit, and if you don't, well, you gotta look that up because he was. You know, he landed in America, he raped and pillaged a lot of people, and we celebrate a day for him. Why? I don't know. You know, but it's another question I'm throwing out there. What's up with the bullshit holidays that America supports? That like we support halfway. Because, you know, we'll close the business down, but if you work outside, then, you know, you still got to go work outside. It kind of defeats the purpose. Anyway, that's my rant.
Yeah. Holidays are crazy. I don't really understand them too many either. I mean, some people agree with them, but I guess
Bullshit
some
holiday,
private
man.
companies, they don't have to.
It's all bullshit, man.
But, our government We're both at kind of a lost for words. You see, he's pretty upset right now.
Yeah, I'm just looking off, trying to gather everything. I just threw a lot at y'all. We got like 1,000 comments coming in. I can't even read them anymore. I mean, look at this, you know. So I don't even know where y'all at anymore. If y'all could yell at us, that'd be cool. We could probably hear you. No, I'm just playing. We probably can't.
But you know, I also wanted to speak on a subject. That's true. I also wanted to speak on a subject that,
Well, definitely Halloween, Valentine's Day.
like,
Not Christmas. There's reasons
I
behind that. If you're religious, of course.
understand that there's a point to why they do it, but like back to kind of like Michael Vick and the whole dogs thing, right? Because
Okay.
it made me think about it today. Because we were watching like a throwback football game of him at Virginia Tech versus
Oof.
FSU and stuff like that.
That hardcore shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, look at all these people that are owners of teams making monies off players who get injured and they fight to like, some people die, some people do this, and
Yeah.
like no owners ever get in trouble. People lose their limbs, they become paralyzed, concussions, like we're saying, and stuff like that. But that's okay. It's just like UFC and stuff like that. Like that's okay. I get it, dogs. That's bad, but like I'm also talking about just these sports and just like the amount of revenue and how our world today is centered around media. Like somebody said earlier, it's like, how can we get away from this? Why is this where we're heading? And is there any way to turn back, or are there too many people who are okay with the media?
I don't think we could turn back. We can't turn back because of the internet. It won't allow us to turn back. The only way we could turn back on the internet is if the government starts censoring our internet, and that's the last thing the American people would want.
That
You
would
know, I
cause a
mean
riot.
that and taking away the guns, I think people would be in extreme uproar about. Like you definitely have like bad stuff going on in the streets.
Do you think there's a way for people to like stop watching sports?
It is called capitalism, goddamn right. Say that again, I'm sorry.
I think college athletes, it's hard to say they should get paid or not, because then they'll start acting crazy and they won't want to get injured.
But don't they bring a revenue to the school? Like a heavy revenue? Like
billions.
billions
They bring a
throughout
lot
the
of
year.
money. And like
Free tuition.
But it's hard to pay 18-year-old kids, man. Then
Give them
there's
free
really
tuition.
Yeah, you could, and they
Why
give
not?
them a lot, and they could also, yeah.
Free tuition, room and board all day.
Not all of them get free education, but I understand.
I mean, the
what you're
starters.
saying. Yeah.
At least your starters and your secondaries, your third and fourths they split up into percentages. That'd be fair, I feel. Yeah, but FIFA's corrupt as hell.
We could definitely do that, bro. We're gonna have to set that up. But it's just like, what is the solution to this? Because players, I don't know if we can pay them. That would be kind of difficult because, like I said, they'd be going out partying, doing.
They
the
do
same
that
thing
already,
NFL
though.
players do.
Straight up. What's his
They don't take the
name? Our
level
boy
away.
Johnny.
They try hard in college to get paid.
Denzel.
high school
He be
would be
going
much
out in
bigger.
fake wigs, man.
He's funny.
Johnny boy.
I love that dude. But
Sorry, dude.
I think you could definitely give them like maybe a monthly allowance or something like that. You know, a small amount of money, maybe like $200 a week or something like that. Like, what else? Do you really need more than
it's
$200
possible.
a week?
I feel like why not?
Right,
Why not? Just overall, why the hell not?
right.
Huh. That's a good point.
Because right now they're getting injured. There's some kids who like play 4
I wonder
years.
if they pay taxes.
They pay 4 years and stuff like that, and then they, in their senior year, get injured and stuff like that, and then you don't even get drafted because you're injured. Now your whole life is ruined, and it's like, for what? But all the college teams, they made millions of dollars off you already, off concession sales,
Yeah, and
ticket sales,
jerseys.
I mean, they don't have the name on the back of jerseys, but still jersey
The number,
sales. Like,
it
yeah, the number
matters,
alone,
dude.
yeah.
If you were a star,
Reggie Bush sold a lot of jerseys.
like if you were a starting dude and changed the number, everyone's gonna buy that number of the jersey now. You know what I mean? Like,
you should
Man.
be going to college for education, not money. I get that, but other people are making money off of us. So should we just not worry about that? Should we
yeah,
just
but see,
go to
at that
school?
point, it's different. Like, you know, by the time you're a senior in high school and you're on the football team, you know what the hell's going on.
Right.
You know whether or not you're going to a D1 school and you're going to be playing on there.
Right.
And especially if like you're going to like a UF and you know you've already been put on the team.
Right.
I mean, come on,
You know how much
man.
money Tim Tebow made?
Yeah,
that
like you already know, like you're basically an NFL player. Your pussy goes through the roof. You know what I'm saying? Your reputation through the school goes up. Your grades drop. But hey, you know, you're the king. I mean, ultimately, are you not at that point? I mean, Tim Tebow had to have been at a point in time in that school. Like, I've heard of certain these guys that go to school and they're not even allowed to go to school because of the, you know, the type of like disruption it'll cause to all the people in there because they're that popular. As like, I mean, these guys are getting talked about on ESPN on a daily basis after the game. You know, if the quarterback FSU tonight has an outstanding game, they're going to be talking about him all next week. And that's going to drive the media rates through the roof. It's going to drive the school ratings through the roof, the college ratings through the roof. It's going to drive any sports memorabilia for the school through the roof. And this guy's going to make no money.
He says that they do get money now. Well, that's good.
Okay.
Back in my day,
Well, they
didn't have that going
But I
on.
wonder how that exactly works. Was that a link? Extra cash college athletes. All right, I'm gonna have to check that link out later and see what's going on with that because that's new to my knowledge too.
Right.
You know, I didn't know that they're getting some type of incentive now, which I mean, hell, they should be with what's going on, especially these concussions and everything, and the brain going to mush these days.
I hear you on that.
You know, that's it, man. I don't know. This is what they got to do, I guess. They should be paying these guys, man.
Well, they definitely get paid when they go to the NFL and stuff. It's crazy. Baseball gets the most amount of money, though. And then basketball, soccer, actually, I think, gets the most amount of money. But
Yeah,
man,
those
do they get
guys
paid.
could buy countries with the amount of money they get paid.
Mhm.
For real. Yeah, that's out of control. See where we're at right now, man.
I'm waiting for the FSC versus Ole Miss game to come on.
Yeah, we got some time. We could just wrap this up, man. Take
Yeah.
it home. You know, we're at the 40.
Let's see, is there any questions we'd like to,
yeah,
anybody
let's-
like to ask us that we could try and answer? We're not the smartest people in the world. We're not really smart at all. We just like to see what people really think about stuff. You know, I kind of like, I wish I did play baseball, but I just couldn't hit the ball. I could run, I could catch, I could be an outfield, I could throw, but man, hitting the baseball was never my big point.
It's a boring sport, man. I'm sorry, y'all
Thanks,
probably
man.
gonna probably get mad hate for it, but baseball's boring. I'm sorry. I'd rather see people get hit or fight, you know, something like that. I wish they would put more lacrosse on, but apparently
I
the
like it
general
because it is
pop-
a technical sport. You
don't
just chill out,
understand it.
man. You chill, and it's all about errors. You commit the least amount of errors, and your team's gonna be good.
Yeah. Huh. Anyway.
Needed to get my boy Vinny on here. All right, guys. Well, we're about to wrap this one up.
That's
Thank
it.
you guys
You're
for
gonna take it home. We
checking
appreciate
us out.
y'all.
For sure.
What's that say?
Not bored to play, AJ.
No, I know you all on that, Garrett. Don't worry, bro.
All right, peace.
All right, man. Peace out, y'all.